Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T110E5. It's the American Tier 10 heavy tank, and this one is located on the south spawn of Erlenberg and is under the command of Captain Ashstorm. Well, what can we say about the T110E5? Well, it was developed as a heavy tank from 1952 and is similar to the M103, and there was restrictions on the sizes of vehicles so they could pass through various tunnels in Switzerland, or through the Alps rather I should say. It replaced the T30 as the American Tier 10 tank in the patch 7.2 and is relatively high penetration, but recently it's actually been nerfed, making it a bit of a with a new weak spot on the cupola, which makes it a little easier to kill than before. Still has the same features, the 120mm gun and pretty tough armor overall, except for that cupola. Battle is about to commence, so let's have a look and see how Captain Ashstorm gets on in this one. I think you can see he's got a mark of excellence on the barrel, so he's played it before and he's reached a suitable level of a suitable standard of achievement, and he's moving with an FP4005 stage 2. They're going over to the west side of the map. I do love these graphics. Wargaming's done a fantastic job. The way the water actually makes the tank wet and it dries out in the sun, and the way the bow wave moves as it goes through the water is superb. But everything, you know, all the scenery they put in, all the destructible scenery, which makes it easier to detect the tank when it's on the move. And he's moving into the town. Now, was that fired at an enemy? Well, the enemy is now in sight. Captain Ashstorm is no novice at this game. He's actually quite an accomplished player. He does have tier 10 tanks, so let's see how he gets on in this one. IS-3 T10 ahead. Well, the IS-3 is tier 8, so he should be able to monster him, even with the weak cupola. But the T10 is a tier 9 heavy. And there they are. Oh, look at that. 391 straight through him. No problem whatsoever. Needs to be careful with these arches. You can fire round through the arch if you got the wrong angle. And that 4502B is hiding around the corner. Ow! Ouch! Takes a round from the IS-3 and another round from the T10, but that one goes through the tracks. In fact, both of them go into the tracks. And he puts another round into the IS-3 for 393 and blocks another shot from the IS-3. It's loaded, pulls back out. All he can see is the tracks at the moment. No, the round would bounce off at that angle. Can't fire it. The gun's popped out. Could probably damage that, but it's not accurate enough. There's the T10. And he's tracked him. Now the 4502 is coming through the gates. He's got him side on. And that one goes into the tracks. Does critical damage, but... And 300 hit points of damage resistance. Or 375 actually, because was it 385? Two shots went into the 4502 from somebody else. Pulls back out, and unfortunately that one doesn't go through, but he was tracked by the IS-3. IS-3 still having difficulty. We can see the tracks, but we don't really want to waste a round. We are firing heat ammunition at the moment to make sure we get the penetration. I know this is sort of like premium spam. And yes, it's not 5% Wargaming. It is actually a lot more than 5%, because Captain Ashstorm was loaded up half and half. But he does get results. That's what counts in these battles. If you want to win, sometimes you do have to use premium ammo. And he's got the side of that T10 and he fires it in, but it's absorbed by the tracks. Now, our Wizzy 1114's come around the corner. And we've got a FP4022 or 402 over the other side. Go for the T10 again, but we missed the opportunity to get him in the cheeks, or rather the shoulders I should say. We don't want to damage the gun of the 1.4. Now he's looking to come out and fire. And that one goes through. 406 hit points. Goes where it counts. He's getting good penetration on the shoulders, but the Wizzy 11114 just went down. He was taken up by the Object 140. Oh, ouch! That hurt! That was a bad hit by the FV4005. 1,157 hit points. We've lost nearly half our health in one shot. Now, that's some tank we have to avoid. He fires around into the side and gets a penetration on T10. We want to avoid that FV4005 doing the same again. So if he comes back, we're going to have to use... Yep, there he comes. And he fires around in, goes into cover, avoids the return fire. Now, is the FV4005 pulled back? Yes, he did. Now, can we wait for him to fire again, pull forward? Or pull forward to fire, and we can hit him, quickly get into cover. If he's snapshotting, it's going to make it difficult for him to put it through a weak point. Goes into the lower plate, 339, but he didn't fire. And that kind of means that he's waiting for us to expose ourselves. And Captain Aslains going to have to be very careful about how it pulls out. Because I think that FV4005 will fire a squash head if we do. Is he still there? I think he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still waiting. He's just waiting for the opportunity. We're pulling back as far as we can go. No, can't fire through the arches on this one. It's at just too tight an angle. He's going to have to expose the side, but exposing the side would make us vulnerable to a squash head round. Inching our way out, trying to just show the tracks as we pull out, but you have to show your turret if you're going to fire. And he fires around in, and we bounce around from the FV4005, and now we've got him. He's a one shot, we can get him, and he's out the game. Brilliant work there. He foxed the FV4005. He wasn't able to fire because we were moving backwards and forwards, so he had to come forward to try and get us with that round. And when he did, we put a round into him and blocked the round that came from him. And now that's given us the game. There's only 3 enemies left. I think we can see the damage to the front. You can see where that round went through. They aimed for the cupola every time. They were trying to get him. And it is obvious that that is the weak spot. It's turned the E5 from a good tank into a bad tank. But he's still very good in this tank. Now, IS-3, still lethal. And the FV4005 comes around the corner, tries to get him. We're going to try and do the same ourselves. We can't get through that gap. No, that's not possible. But the SU-101 takes out the IS-3. And there's a Strip 103 somewhere over there trying to shoot at us, and he bounced off us. Somewhere. Oh, he's on the front. Yep. Okay, he's looking. The SU-101's going across. He's going to try and hunt down that Strip. It's the tier 10 Swedish tank destroyer. He probably can't see us at the moment because he probably only spotted us when the IS-3 was still alive. But now that the IS-3 is dead, he's not spotting. There's the Strip. And he's in a hold down position basically at the moment. We can't get him, but the SU-101 can probably see him. If we can tempt that Strip to come out, we can put a round in. And I think, yep, Captain Aslains is going to go onto the bridge. Or is he going to go? No, he's going to go across the river. Rather than go across the bridge, which is a direct route. And there's a wreck there. Yep. And there is the other remaining enemy. It's an Object 140. He's one of the ones who actually killed the 1-4, I believe. Pretty sure that's the one that got the 1-4. And Captain Aslains dives into the river. He's actually into the deep area of the river, but he manages to ford it before he drowns. And he's going after not only the Strip, but also the Object 140. And there is the Strip. He pulls up to take a shot, but he bounces it. Goes into the tracks. Now, can he get round that Strip? He's loaded heat again. That one goes through. 363. Takes a round in return. 439. Not sure when that went through. Puts another round in for 357. Where did that round go through? Oh, it went right through the front. Ouch. Puts another round into the 103. 426, tracked him in place, but we have got capture, we've got the win. It was actually an assault battle, and we capped out whilst we were fighting the SDRV. And so we've won that battle. And here's the end of battle results. It's a steel wall and a second-class tanker for Captain Ashstorm in the T110E5. He also picked up a shelf proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his vehicle, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle, and as I said, a steel wall. He got the highest damage blocked by armor, at least 11 hits, and an amount over 1,000 hit points and damage blocked. And the win rate for that battle was 3867, a particularly good round. So let's have a look at team score. He got the highest damage on his team, 4,546 hit points. It was the Object 140, that one at the end, who survived the battle. He managed to get 5,990 hit points. He picked up the high caliber for that battle, as well as 5 kills. Captain Ashstorm only managed to get 1 kill. The highest score on his team was the Wizzy 11114. He got 3 kills and was killed by the Object 140. Was a Unicum player, by the way. And when it came to base XP, it was Captain Ashstorm was top. He managed to get 893 base XP, whilst the Object 140 on the enemy team managed only 592. Skoda T50 took 813. The SU-101, who survived the battle, 776. Let's have a look at detail. Well, he fired 19 rounds. He got 19 direct hits and only 12 penetrations. Some of those rounds did go into the tracks of the enemy, and I think you saw that round that went into the tracks on the T10. He did damage of 4,546 hit points. He received 12 hits from the enemy. Only 2 were penetration, 10 were non-penetrations. And in fact, actually, the ones that were penetrations were the FB4005, who put a round right through the cupola, and of course the STRV S103-0, who actually put a round right through the front of the vehicle. But those non-penetrations, he blocked damage of 3,910 hit points, an absolutely monster level. Huge amount, actually, considering the hit points of the vehicles are quite a bit lower than that. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle. He damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and he did damage assistance of 519 hit points. He also picked up 10 base capture points whilst he was in the cap fighting the SDRV. In fact, actually, it was the SU-101 who managed to pick up the majority of the cap points in the cap, and I think we can actually see that. Yes, there's the SDRV, SU-101 rather. He managed to get an Invader medal, so congratulations to him. Right, when it came to credits, he earned 67,976 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, remember he did fire quite a bit of heat ammunition during that battle to make sure he had the penetration, and of course he used premium consumables. He ended up with only a negative of 18,791 credits, so it's quite a big loss, but it was a victory, so that's what counts. He received 2 bonds for the steel wall. He also picked up 1,339 XP times 5 for the first victory of the day, and he had a personal reserves bonus for 50% going at the same time, so he took away 7,367 experience points overall. So, very good battle there by Captain Ashstorm. Shows that the T110E5 can still monster the enemy, so long as you avoid getting shot in the cupola. And if you do come across an FB4005, you need to make sure that he doesn't fire a squash head round right through that cupola. And to do that, you need to be very careful, as Captain Ashstorm did, and force the enemy to make a mistake of coming forward, so you can then put a round into them, bounce the return shot, and then go ahead and wipe them out when they're a one shot. So, if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.